Now, I'm sorry about deleting this morning's show. That was by accident. I'd like to put it back on, but I think it's gone. There's no reason to delete that show. Um, so the fires are being built. You know, the gremlins and trolls are chanting around their fires. The trolls are just throwing more accelerants on the fire and dancing around, doing their troll dances, because I think they got their feelings hurt. We don't come on here to hurt feelings. That's not what we're all about. Trolls always have something to say about somebody. But you know when you know they're pissed off? I'll tell you how you know. Well, they don't normally do many shows. They're coming on very regular. It means that you hit a nerve. You hit a raw nerve. And that's exactly what you did. Because we have certain people. In fact, there's a show scheduled today, within another half hour, I guess, by the one and only Poop Eye. And his entitlement, well, go see. Always something to say about somebody. I think he really got his feelings hurt. Normally, Poop Eye doesn't come on that often. Unless he has a special going on, he's going to do a skit, or his master, Aloe, now known as Mr. Cornetto, and people like Roberto, other losers, are going to be on there with him. But when you see Poop Eye coming on as often as he does, it's very easy to deduct that he got his feelings hurt. Normally, and historically, he doesn't do a lot of shows. He's not pumping out shows every day like I do. No. But he's been very active lately. So, hit a nerve. When you hit Popeye's nerve, that prompts him to do his skits about somebody, because that's his way of relaying, you know, his inner feelings of inadequacy. And by doing shows, he'll get Nico on there, the regular crew, you know, maybe even Aloe. He might be sporting another Cornetto, but he doesn't come on camera. I think that's what it comes down to. When you see more frequent shows from people of this nature, it's because they're pissed off. You spoke something about them that hit an element of truth. They want to come back and give it to you between the eyes. Psh, what a useless effort. Like I'm going to be fazed by anything he says. Like I said, keyboard warriors, that's all they are. Keyboard warriors. He could dish out anything he wants all the way in fucking Florida. Time behind his phone or keyboard or computer. He figures, well, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Sounds like he's having an orgasm after each funny thing he supposedly says, what we think are so humorous. It's the same old fucking rhetoric. Whether it was 8 years ago or it's all the way till today, it's the same rhetoric on his show. What does he have to talk about? Somebody else. Oh, but wait a minute. They're the ones that are saying that people like me are the evil on here. That I talk about people. I do. But what are they doing? Nice, right, Aloe? So, that's righteous? Is it really? But that's their defense. They can't defend themselves in real life. So it's like throwing mud pies at a distance. You may hit your target, but you're very limited on how far that mud pie can be thrown. And it's very limited on what they can produce. to hurt somebody's feelings. Shit, I'm so beyond that. I've had mud pies thrown at me. I've had cement blocks thrown at me. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't run and hide with my tail between his legs like he's done. When he had a couple of characters that were after his ass, people that didn't like him, I think even Larry Bighead was going after him, wasn't he? Oh, then Popeye went into quiet. He doesn't want to talk about that. Then he'd go quiet and silent, run deep. By the way, I wasn't planning to do a back-to-back show on here. But I'm going to beat him to the punch, okay? The only shows that Popeye produces is to look down on other people. I do shows with lots of topic matter on here. You can never deny that, although he will. What does Frank have to talk about? A lot. And I do it all the time, and I have the capability of doing that. I don't come on here every show and attack people. Oh, I'll talk about people. I'll put up that mirror in front of their face, but they don't want to look at their ugliness. No, they don't want to do that. And they are ugly in every way. Externally, internally, they're all ugly. You know. And I'm not afraid to show my face on camera either. He won't, because he don't want you to see what he looks like present day. People have pictures of him from way back. He wasn't good looking then, and I can imagine time didn't do him very well now. I'm not afraid to come on camera, and I do. I got nothing to hide. Nothing at all. But only a coward hides behind his camera all the time. I come on, and I'm off, and I'm on, and I'm off. I'm on camera, off camera, but at least there's a good balance on my show anyway. I try to keep a good balance. I don't always feel like being on camera. Sometimes I just decide to go on camera. It's just a personal choice, but some people will not go on camera. They're afraid of anybody knowing what they look like, in case some assailant that don't like them decides to pay them a nice little visit. Nice visit. What's up? No, we're just talking about the Popeye show and how when he gets his feelings hurt, he starts to do a hell of a lot more shows. Because normally he doesn't do a lot of shows, but when there's a little activity out there that may bring him up in a dialogue of sort, oh, that's when you know you hit a nerve. Speaking of nerves, I did hit a nerve. I gotta check a molar out. What's going on with that? I did a show this morning, very topical, which I'm capable of doing. Point made. You know? Okay, I'm not sure what show you're talking about. I've been working about 18 hours, really. Oh, he's called Popeye 1. And he's a retired guy that worked in the Navy, then worked at, I think, a Walmart for 25 years. He never shows his face because he's afraid to do that because the guy's ugly inside and out. And he's one of those keyboard warrior types that like to point out people's faults when, you know, he needs a GFC, a ground fault device. He's full of faults. Ground fault circuit breaker, whatever they call it, GFC. These are people with plenty of faults that want to point out everybody else's, which is a laugh. It's a scream, actually. If you've known somebody to be around for over 8 years, you've heard all their shit, and you know all their history, you could sit back and just laugh or have a smirk on your face because, number one, you know they're bullshitting about their career. They're bullshitting about how well they're doing. I know what his house looks like. I've seen pictures of it. I know what his house looks like. It's nothing fancy. I don't think he even owns it. I think it belongs to his daughter. Well, he's doing a show. I'll give him a promo. He's doing a show in about a half an hour, I think. And he's gonna have all the usual trolls on there supporting him, of course. Because he will never do a show unless he's supported by certain viewers on there. He's already established his own reputation on here years ago when he was a continual part of what can basically be called, without denial, a hate show. Promotes hate, but yes, I mean, it's Vietnam, Thailand. Perhaps when I got to do my exit, I plan to do a vacation, take her on vacation. Thailand could be a place, perhaps. Keep in touch. I'm not going to say when my exit's due, but I could do that at any time, actually. Just keep in touch with me. I don't know you, so I don't know, get to know me a little bit better before I'm going to go to somebody's house, or if you're inviting me to your house, I don't know. But, all right, something to consider. But I really get a charge out of these people. And Popeye's been doing this forever. He's not the nicest guy. I mean, he does actually wish death on people. Maybe on my lowest moments, I've said that a few times on here. I never meant that. But he really means it. He wishes people dead. I know he does. That's the kind of guy he is. He's the kind of guy that has to win an argument. And the way he deals with, let me make a skit, a little video skit with music and characters. It's my way of lancing out. I can get all the accolades that I want, and hey, that was good, man. Spread the hate. We got other people like John Blaze, who made a real embarrassment of himself on YouTube on trying to be a leader in the hate division. She's doing a good job of it. And he's a guy that does shows about haters. And I'm supposed to be a big hater on here. Hey man, I spread the love. I spread the love on here, man. By what I do, my shows. I take my time without even being monetized. And I give out free information about things that I learn. But really no expectations of anything. I got a Gcash, that's all I got. That doesn't work very well because a lot of people don't live in the Philippines. But beyond that, my shows are free. I'm not offering $75 an hour consultation fees like some people do, which is ridiculous, is absurd. I just do a show. And people either like it or they don't, but they always come back. So it must be a reason they come back. Even the trolls come back and they'll listen to my whole show. Some of them will record my show for posterity or whatever. They actually go as far as creating their own channel with my name on it. And it's, guess it's what it's all about. It's about me. That means that I've arrived. When you get to that point, you have arrived. Thailand, Vietnam. Well, I kind of like where I am, but I like to see other countries, and probably on my exit, I'll have to be doing another country anyway, I spent 2 months in Thailand, 2 months in Vietnam. It was phenomenal, and I'm going to be in Boracay for 6 weeks starting in June with my children. Why don't you swing by with Gilda and the kids? Boracay. That's kind of a place I never really wanted to visit, to be honest with you. What spoiled it for me is this guy Jasper in the Philippines. He just kind of spoiled that whole image of Boracay for me. I live near beaches too, white sand beaches, but I don't know, something to think about. A small vacation or something that's possible. I haven't been to Boracay. I just don't like the crowds there. I'm sure it's a nice beach. I've seen it on videos, but too touristy and too crowded. Just forget about the past. Let's build a positive life with all the drama. I think you'll find that very interesting without the drama. Oh, I'm not trying to create drama on here, man. I'm trying to veer away from it. But there are people that continue to drama on here because it's really the only way they can get views on their channel. Me, I don't really care how many viewers come on my channel. I got enough people on here at any given time to listen to my show, and I'm happy with it. I'm not asking for much, and I'm not demanding a lot. The fact that people come to listen to my show, there are some shows that nobody goes to, really. You got to prove yourself that you're a good orator. You got to prove that you have topic matter, and very topic matter, and not just about the Philippines, even though I'm based here. And I do talk a lot about the Philippines, but I try to incorporate into my channel other things that are worldly, world events, funny things, odd things, how people live their lives and why. Talk about the opulent rich people and how they're living and the mistakes they make. I talk philosophy, talk about environmental situations. I try to cover it all, even back to talking about favorite TV shows you grew up with, some of the foods and different candy you grew up. We just did a show on it the other night. I think it was last night. We were talking about candy of all things and what we grew up on, whether it was certain type of ice pops, ice cream, different types of candy, old TV shows or movies, and people love that shit. They eat it up. And I don't blame them. Because that's something good to talk about without all the goddamn nonsense on here, man. That people get so easily triggered. It's not like I get triggered, I just get motivated. It's a difference. So if I talk about somebody on here, they're very current, usually. They might have made some very lame statements that need to be addressed. I expose them on a level that maybe they don't want to hear. And that gets them pissed off. That proverbial mirror I hold in front of their face, and they don't like it. They see how ugly they really are. Anyway, I wasn't doing a long show here. Just wanted to come out and do a commentary. Hope you enjoyed this morning's show. I didn't have too many viewers this morning. And it wasn't one of my best topics, but it's something that some of these topics I derive from things that I see and read too, what I find really interesting, people's lives, how the rich were living, and why do they need these big mansions with 20 rooms and 14 bathrooms. We were covering that on this morning's show. I didn't mean to delete that show. I did delete it. I can't get it back, but whoever heard my show, that's fine. I'm sure you'll probably find a copy of this on the copycat channels. And they're conglomerates. They're conglomerates, Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I managed to get my exercise in, take a shower, ate my lunch. So I'm going to face the rest of the day and find some shit to do. And just keep in mind something. People are going to do shows on here. You're going to notice a pattern. If they can't think of any topic matter, they're just not usually capable of it. They're really quick on pointing out what they think are certain people's faults, such as me. I'm a big topic matter on here for several channels. Why? Well, they make me controversial. I'm not trying to be controversial. It's not my goal. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that when the time comes. I remember I don't even know you. But anyway, beyond that, I get a charge out of listening to some of these shows because I know that their main goal is to get attention any way they can, because they really can't hold the topic. Most of these people can't hold good topic matters. And it's usually something very hateful, a lot of finger pointing going on, backstabbing, fence jumping, and as I always say, negative attention is still attention. And they'll try to get the attention any way they can. And it really has something to do with their own personal lives. Like this dude watches, I don't know if General Hospital is still on. He's been watching General Hospital, a soap opera, since the inception of the show. What fucking man sits there and watches General Hospital? I was forced to watch that shit when I was a kid. very young, because my mother would watch that shit all the time. I even got to know some of the characters. But as a grown-ass man, I think you should be doing something better than watching freaking soap operas. I know we all done stupid stuff on YouTube. Why don't we just bury all of that and do positive? I do positive shows. Tell that to them. I do a lot of great shows and will continue to do so despite their disliking of me still having a show and doing shows and always presenting the truth on my shows. I had a guy attack me all the time, Eddie Boy. He said, "You said something bad about my old lady, my wife." Later on down the line, I apologized and said, "Well, yeah, I slipped. I shouldn't have said anything, you know. Sometimes you get upset and you don't mean what you say. But what makes you a man is that you will own up to what you said." A lot of us have said horrible things on here. I think we're all, well, if you're a regular vlogger, I'm sure, that at some moment or another, you just lashed out and said a few things that perhaps you didn't mean. Or perhaps you did mean it. Perhaps you did mean it too. But you're a better person if you realize any faults you made and a responsibility you have with your show. Because there is a responsibility that goes on with making a YouTube show. There is. There's a big responsibility. What you say and do could get you into a lot of trouble, and somebody knows that real well right now. Because they weren't responsible in what they were vlogging about. That's the way it happens. Some people think they can get away with it. Some do. And sometimes some people don't, or they won't. Time to come. Okay. Doesn't mean they're getting away with it. But when they spend their whole YouTube career pointing out everybody's faults, but if you had to go behind the scenes to see what their lifestyle is like, you would probably notice that it's totally out of control. All out of control. They're not going to show you that part of their life. But they like to dish it out. Then somebody dishes it out back to them, they get their feelings hurt. And then they do skits. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a creative skit. Make you the character. I'll even go after your girlfriend. I'll put your girlfriend's picture on a thumbnail or something. Or they'll edit, highly edit, a photograph of yourself, aging you by 60 years. It just shows me they got some inner conflict with themselves. See, I'll tell you what, Frank, I met Aloe. Oh, no, you didn't. Nobody met Aloe. Now I know you're phony. Nobody's met Aloe. Nobody has met Aloe. That's an out-and-out lie. So your credibility is gone. It's gone. Don't believe it. Bye. I mean well, but you're not selling any of that bullshit to me. And if you meant well and you were real, I'm sorry. But I have to go with my instinct. Nobody has met Aloe. He will not put himself in public. That's just a fact, just like he would have never have met me when he came down here to Santa Fe. That was never going to happen. That's why he pre-recorded his shows. Oh yeah, come down and meet me at MJ Square or meet me there. Bullshit. He's not going to meet me. He's not going to meet anybody. He does not want his identity to be put out. For good reason. Because he's extremely volatile. And he doesn't want to get his ass kicked by somebody that maybe he has dishonored. Or something about the person he really dishonored and disfigured in many ways. That's the way it works. I'm not a fool, okay? And I'm not anybody's tool either. I'm either a fool or I'm a tool. I've gotten pretty educated since I've been on YouTube all these years, and I'll know who to trust and who not to. And I don't trust anyone. That's just the way it has to be. I'll do my show, allow my viewers to comment. I'll make my own assessment and determination where they stand on my channel, whether they're operating from a sock account, from a troll, which don't matter really, because if they're doing nothing but good on my channel, even if they are a troll, pretending to be somebody else, I don't have a problem with that. If they come on my show, we create good dialogue, they're not attacking me or something, or anybody else on my, that's, commenting on my show, that's fine. I know half the people that watch my show anyway are trolls. I told you, I'm not that gullible, I'm not stupid. But you need an audience, right? And why not a bunch of trolls? Trolls are people too, right? Trolls are people too. Well, you would think they are. Anyway, I don't think I'll be able to listen to Popeye's broadcast because I have to go up to Van Tyen. And of course, it's going to be directed probably toward me or somebody. More likely me, but he always has somebody in his target, in his viewfinder. Because he's just, unfortunately for him, he's just not living the life he wants to. It didn't go well the way he wanted to. And especially when the guy, somebody said to me, well, how do you know that, Frank? That I think the guy hasn't been laid for decades. That can make you pretty frustrated. It can make you very sour. It could make you very volatile in your personality and trying to find fault with people because you're not happy with yourself. TLM. I forgot what TLM means. TLM. Hello, Hagante. Refresh me. Yeah. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd come back on. Sorry I deleted my show this morning. See, that's why I want to get rid of this internet. It's just happened right now with reconnecting. And I am. Another week, should have a new system up here. Should be good to go. I hope so. Spending enough on it. But if people like Poop Eye and people like that think they're hurting my feelings, I'm well beyond that. I'm well beyond that. Believe me, I've taken kicks in the groin from these people. I've taken lumps on the head. Not literally, but I've received a lot of shit from people on here. I'm still here. What that says about me is I can tolerate their bullshit to a point, but a simple tool of holding a mirror in front of these people, one of the best weapons you could ever have is a mirror. Figuratively speaking, of course, and maybe even not. Let them see who they really are. That's what I do on here. I don't just do topic matter, but sometimes I'll help them paint a picture of themselves and their lives. And if they think about it, they realize, this guy is right. That I'm living a shitty life. That they're living a shitty life, actually. Watching soap operas all your life. What real man watches a fucking soap opera? I guess there are. But going to bingo and shit like that, I can't emphasize that enough. That's when you've given up. You just given up. I'm not giving up. I don't give up. I may be a senior, but it doesn't mean I gotta act like a fucking senior. I gotta look like a fucking senior. I gotta dress like a fucking senior. That's not who I am. That's what makes you old. Unless you want to be old and come up with some shit like, well, hey, I earned every gray hair I don't mind being all wrinkled up and silver-haired and fragile. I can't walk, I gotta take a scooter. You want to give in to that kind of shit, you're more than welcome to do it. That's your gig, not mine, baby. That's your gig. I'll get as old as Mother Nature will allow me to, and but try to live it my way. I don't give in even to Mother Nature unless I have to. I try to go beyond the obvious things that's going to happen with old age, but you could only go so far. I'm not going to give in to that kind of shit. No, not really. But if you're going to sit around watching soap operas and shit like that, I think that has a lot to say about your life, your lifestyle, and kind of where you're going with the rest of your life, really, truthfully. And that's a sad statement to make. Well, I realize you've got a Popeye show that's going to be coming on pretty soon, and I don't want to keep you from that. That's quality material. Go listen to the hate and get a good example of what kind of life this guy is living and how he likes to lash out on everybody else as if he's a beyond approach, like this, that he has no faults, when in fact he is one of the kings of mean. And that's the truth. Flipping mud pies at everybody, but these are the people that sink fast and down. All right, that's my show. Enjoy. But like I said, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, sir. I'm so sorry. But sometimes people need a wake-up call. And he's had many wake-up calls, I'm sure of it, as well as the other trolls. Can't do that all your life, or maybe you could, but I don't get the feeling that this guy's got much of a social life whatsoever. And he's in America, and he should have the biggest social life in the world. Besides talking to his neighbor. Hey, Paul, you want to go to bingo tonight? Oh, sure, man. That sounds good. Yeah, maybe I could fit you on my little electric scooter. One day he might be in a real scooter that is actually hauling him around because he can't walk anymore. Of course, we don't wish that on nobody, really. But it could lead up to that, and art becomes reality or whatever, life imitating art or whatever. Okay, with that being said, I'm out of here. I gotta head up to, I gotta go to the bank in Battaglia, and I gotta get out of here before it gets too hot out. I don't want to be out all day today. So enjoy the hate shows, and maybe you'll learn a little bit something about how lonely people are, how desperate they get when they're trying to get attention, and when all their topic matter is about hateful things and trying to destroy the reputation of somebody because they're just not happy with their lives and their self. That's just the way it is, man. If you're going to be on YouTube, it's just not on YouTube. This is life itself. This is life. This is everywhere. But you do see it on YouTube quite a bit. And these are the kind of characters, that's exactly what they do. It never turns out well for them, does it? We got a guy that's in his grave right now. Didn't turn well out for him. Boo-hoo, right?